All right, let's talk about artificial intelligence. Because right now, there's this sort of invisible battle being fought over the very words on our screens. And right at the heart of it all is one really provocative name, Grubby AI. I mean, think about it. We're all getting used to tools like ChatGPT, but have you ever stopped to ask, is our AI learning how to lie? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, I know, but a secret war is already being fought over the authenticity of every single thing we read online. So welcome to the AI arms race. It has absolutely exploded. On one side, you have AI content generators just pumping out mountains of text. On the other, you have these incredibly powerful AI detectors trying to sniff it all out. And caught right in the middle, a whole new category of tools called humanizers, designed to do one thing, make AI writing look human. And this has created a completely frantic cat and mouse game. It goes like this. First, an AI generates some text. Next, a detector flags it. And then a so-called humanizer swoops in to scrub away the evidence, trying to make the text pass as human. Each side is just constantly trying to outsmart the other. It's a never-ending cycle. Okay, so how in the world do these detectors even spot an AI? Well, they're on the hunt for digital fingerprints. The two big ones have kinda nerdy names, perplexity and burstiness. But think of it this way. AI writing is often really predictable. The sentences all have a similar length and rhythm. That's low perplexity and low burstiness. Human writing, on the other hand, well, it's messier, more varied. And that is the key difference these detectors are trained to find. And right into the middle of this arms race stepped a brand new player, a tool that called itself Grubby AI. And boy, did it make a promise. It claimed to be the perfect solution for anyone trying to fly under the radar. And this wasn't just a small promise. It was a huge, bold claim. Grubby AI said it could take any AI text and guarantee a 99% or higher human score from the detectors. Now, if you're a student or a content creator worried about getting flagged, this thing sounded like an absolute magic bullet. So how did it claim to perform this magic? Well, it went right after those AI fingerprints we just talked about. It promised to remove digital watermarks, to mix up all the sentence structures for more burstiness, and to swap out common AI phrases to make it less predictable. On paper, it was the perfect counterweapon. But that promise, well, it soon collided head-on with a very harsh reality. For its users, the results were nothing short of catastrophic, as some major cracks in Grubby AI's armor started to show. Yeah, users pretty quickly discovered that the humanized text was often a complete and utter mess. I love this one review on Trustpilot where a user just put it bluntly, saying the output sounded like a 7th grader wrote it. People were spending more time fixing the gibberish it created than it would have taken to just write it themselves from scratch. And the tool's downfall was swift. In early 2025, it was gaining tons of traction. By the middle of the year, complaints about the terrible quality and some really shady billing practices were piling up. But then in August came the final blow. Turnitin, the giant in academic detection, released an update specifically designed to catch tools just like Grubby AI. And the impact of that update was just devastating for the tool. Before the update, Turnitin was catching Grubby's output about 60% of the time. Not great. But after the update, that number shot up to a staggering 97%. The tool was completely exposed. It wasn't just ineffective anymore, it was now a surefire way to get caught. But it gets worse. The tool wasn't just failing technically, it was actively trapping its users. Widespread reports started flooding in about predatory business practices, with customers saying it was nearly impossible to cancel their subscriptions. They were getting charged for a service that was now completely useless. So, a tool built for deception failed. Case closed, right? Well, not exactly. Because the story of Grubby AI doesn't end there. In fact, you could say this is where the real story begins. And that leads us to a huge question. Is that all there is to this? A failed tool in a grubby little war of words? Or could the real Grubby AI be something else entirely? Something that has nothing to do with cheating at all? See, there's another Grubby AI. Grubby AI as a concept, and this describes AI that is intentionally imperfect. It's frugal, meaning it uses very little data, power, and memory, and it's incredibly adaptive. It's not about being perfect in a lab, it's about functioning brilliantly in the messy, constrained real world. In this philosophy, it's creating incredible value in some of the world's most challenging places. This is where good enough isn't some kind of compromise, it's a genuine breakthrough. For example, take a look at this case study from Kenya. There's a tool called Ujuzi Kilimo, and it helps small farmers analyze their soil. It runs on a basic phone, completely offline, using a tiny machine learning model that is just 200 kilobytes. I mean, that's smaller than a single photo you'd post online. It's the very definition of a frugal, resource-constrained AI. And the result of this imperfect AI? Well, by lab standards, it's only about 78% accurate, but for the farmers using it, that's translated to a 30% increase in their crop yields. It works because it delivers actionable advice when and where it's needed, no internet required. It is brilliantly good enough. Or how about this one from the Amazon rainforest? Researchers use camera traps to monitor endangered species, but they get thousands of useless images of, just leaves blowing in the wind. So a tiny model called BioGrub runs on a little chip inside the camera itself, and it filters out the empty photos before they're ever even sent. The impact here is just staggering. This simple model reduces the data transmission by a factor of 20. And what that really means is that a camera's battery can last for 6 months instead of just 2 weeks. For researchers in the field, that's a total game changer, all thanks to an AI that embraces its limitations. So this brings us right back to our central question. We have two very, very different visions for the future, and they're both flying under the same Grubby banner. So what does this name really signify? The choice we face is stark. Let's just lay it out. On one side, you have the tool, Grubby AI. Its goal is deception, its ethic is to subvert systems, and its result is a trap for users. On the other side, you have the concept. Its goal is functionality. Its ethic is to solve problems, and its result is a powerful tool for humanity. Maybe the most important AI of the future won't be the polished, perfect models running in giant, pristine data centers. Maybe it will be the ones that are imperfect, resilient, and built for the real world. The ones that are, as this quote says, gloriously, beautifully grubby. Ultimately, we're at a crossroads. The name Grubby AI really represents two paths. One uses technology to fake humanity, to take shortcuts. The other uses it to serve humanity by solving real, tough problems. The question this leaves us with isn't about the name, it's about us. Which path are we going to choose to build?